Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. Many of us use gun greases, such as these, but they're very expensive. A small tube like this could cost $5, $10, $15. So are there any good alternatives that are cheap? Well, I know in the gun community, or at least on the gun forums and some videos out there, a lot of folks use lithium grease. Is that a good idea? How about wheel bearing grease? Is that a good idea? Well, one of the big problems is it gets pretty hot inside your gun, and maybe some of these alternative products don't hold up so well to the heat. That's why I got this oven. That's why I have a new plate of truth. So stay tuned. Let's take a look at this new plate of truth. As you can see, it was made of a, that's right, a baking pan. It was very easy to cut, and it is steel. I may try to get a steel one and not an aluminum one. And I made this. Then I went ahead and put divots in here, so as these products are getting hot, they don't sort of run off. So that's all this is. And I have 8 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what we'll be putting in them is these products, which I laid out in the boxes, in the order of the boxes. Lithium will go in 1, the wheel bearing grease will go in 2, the Pro Gold lubricant will go in 3, and on the bottom, this is number 5 here, I'm going to put the Montana Extreme, and then the TW25. This is a pretty popular gun grease. And then I have Super Lube. This is not only used by gun community but also fishing, for fishing reels and stuff. And then here I have this Gun Slick, which has a little bit of graphite in it. And that's all I have as far as gun greases are concerned, and these are the 2 greases I'd like to try as inexpensive alternatives. So I have an extra square. So what I'm going to do, just for fun, is throw in some ballistol and see how well a oil will hold up to the heat as compared to the greases. So let's get started. Now, to avoid making this a very long and boring video, I'm going to go ahead and time warp us into 8 times speed while I put each product here on the plate. Ready, set, go! Now I'd like to note a couple of things. This particular wheel bearing grease is high temperature. It's made by Liquid Wrench, and it does say that this product has a chemical known to the state of California that cause cancer. So this only causes cancer in California. Another thing that many of you who are very smart about grease would probably want to know is how thick this particular grease is, and there is a special number, if I can find it, that's written on here as far as greases are concerned. Okay, I found it, and it's right there where my finger is, and that says that it's NLGI number 2. That's the thickness of the grease, and if it was a smaller number, it would be a little more liquidy, and a bigger number is thicker. So this is number 2. I've read on the forums that maybe a higher one like 0 would be better, which is almost a liquid at room temperature. But this seems to have the same consistency as the other gun greases. So let me let you take a peek at this. There you go. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start up our oven. Now what I want to do is show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put this plate just like this, and I also want to get a thermometer so we can closely monitor the temperature. I want to get this right in the middle so the element underneath is at an equal distance to all the grease, so I can be as fair as possible. Okay, and we'll go ahead and, let me see, I think this needs to come out just a little bit. Close this up. Now, just for all you safety Sallies out there, yes, this is going to be pretty noxious. I have the door open in the back. I'm also going to kick on a fan here, so you're going to hear a little bit of noise. Okay, so let's get started. And what I want to do is bring this up to about 200 degrees to get started. Now you can see we've approached 200 degrees. And it looks like we have our first indications of something going on, and that's with the lithium grease. We are approaching 225. And the lithium grease is almost a liquid at this point. All the other ones seem to be doing okay. I'm going to let this get to about 300 degrees. Now I'm seeing some smoke coming out of here. We do have some smoke. And we are at 300 degrees. 300 degrees. And what we have is a total failure of the lithium grease. Let you take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Woo! And you can see that we are just over 300 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Dinner's done. And I'm going to let things cool off a little bit, and we'll take a close look. So take a look at that lithium grease. It's totally failed. So do you want to put this into your gun? It's just not made for high temperature. So if anybody who's thinking lithium grease is a good idea to put in your gun, I urge you to reconsider. Let's take a look at some of these other ones real quick. Let me wipe my stick off here. Alright, so this is the Montreal. It still looks like grease. How about our other guys? This is that 25 stuff. Actually, this looks pretty good. Still grease. And this is Super Lube. Now the Super Lube, well, they all seem to have the same consistency so far. Wow, this is weird. This the gun slick has turned into a liquid. It's turned into a liquid. So that probably would just seep out of whatever you're doing. We'll get back to the oil here. This is the bearing grease. And it's still grease. And this is that Pro Lube, Pro Gold. Now the Pro Gold probably has maintained closest to its original consistency. Interesting. And an oil here, you could. Oh, that's weird. This is ballistol. It's gummed up. And we're talking 300 degrees. Wow. I thought these would hold up better. So I guess it really doesn't get over 300 degrees in your gun, I guess. But as you can see, lithium is an absolute no-go. I mean, it really, at 200 degrees, starts totally breaking down. And everything else seems to have gotten... The consistency has changed a little bit in everything but the Pro Gold. And here's the Pro Gold, what it looks like. And it says reduces wear, extreme heat and water resistant, slightly tacky, does not sling or work down, prevents stainless steel galling, whatever that means, or galling. Interesting stuff. I've never really used this at all, and it seems to have probably maintained its consistency better than any of these other products. But they all did fairly well. I'd say second place as far as consistency. As far as the gun products, the TW25 probably comes in second. Just gonna let you take a really close look at everything real quick. Again, lithium grease. You don't want to put that into your gun. The bearing grease did pretty good. Again, Pro Gold seemed to do the best out of this whole group. There's your ballistol. There is Montreal Extreme gun grease. Or, I'm sorry, Montana. Montana Extreme gun grease. And, it's pretty good. Here is your TW25. I believe, in my opinion, this did about second place. Here's your Super Lube. I'm mixing these all up now. And it did pretty good too. But this gun slick, really weird how it just turned to a liquid. Very odd. Was not expecting that. Okay, so here's what I learned doing this test. Number one, don't use lithium grease in your gun. It's not made for high heat. If you read the instructions, or if you read the data on the back, you'll find that out. But this demonstration should help those of you who need some visuals to show that it really does not work very well in high heat. So what did do good? Well, Pro Gold lubricant, TW25, and as far as these other ones, the only one that I have reservations about is this gun slick turning the liquid. That tells me if you're shooting the gun and bang, 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 getting it really, really, really hot, this stuff could sort of leach out, just sort of leak out like an oil as it gets really hot. Now these other two I would say did average, and this high temp bearing grease sort of performed on par with the Super Lube, and this other, I keep on forgetting the name, I apologize, the Montana Extreme. So it did about the same consistency and everything. So high temperature wheel bearing grease, right now I would consider a good alternative to this. Now maybe not this particular brand that causes cancer if you live in California. There's some other bearing grease that people recommend. There's some red stuff in Walmart. There's also some synthetic types. One is called Lubricate or something like that, Lubricate, which is highly recommended. So those are things maybe to consider. Now I'm not saying definitely use these, because you know I'm basing all these on observations on one test and some stuff that I've read. You know, I mean, if you go on YouTube and you're going to see a whole bunch of people say lithium grease, lithium grease, lithium grease. It's the holy grail. It's cheap. You get a whole bunch, use it forever for the rest of your life. But you know what? It fails when it starts getting about 200 degrees. So unless you're just bang, shoot, rest for a while, bang, shoot, you don't let that temperature get up in your gun, yeah, it'll do fine. But if you're one of those that like to go out there and shoot until your forearm grip there is burning up on your AK, guess what? You're burning that freaking lithium grease into a complete mess inside your gun, and you saw what it looked like. It's just not a good idea to put it in your gun. So with that, I'm going to give you a hint on what my next video is going to be about, and I'm going to test some gun oils and how they compare under heat against Mobile One. You know, and another thing that I read that I heard was really, really good is automatic transmission fluid. So let's see how that goes for our next heat testing video. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. Have a great one.